Johnny here, and so I've been working on my three-digit number system, and it's a pain. As you could tell, I do have a good amount of images down, but I have a lot more blanks. I do have images for the blanks, but I have not put them down because these images fit into multiple categories. So I need to figure out which categories have limited images and use some of those images I set aside for those specific categories. Because it doesn't make sense for me to use those specific images for categories that have multiple images for me to choose from. So that does not make sense. And so all the images that you currently see, I'm probably going to use them. They might change depending on how I mess around with the categories, if I decide to change any. But for the most part, these are pretty much certain. And so as you can tell, I have kind of people and objects depending on what the category is and depending if I'm kind of limited on the category. I'm kind of trying to expand on it. So like for this is from Malcolm in the Middle show. I have Malcolm, Lewis, Craig, a safe. That's because one of the episodes, I remember Craig lifted the safe and broke it. And so, as you can tell, I'm kind of like expanding it, trying to get enough images for that specific category. Another problem I've been having, probably the biggest one, is having images that overlap. So, for example, let me go down here. Here. 99 is the TV show Rick and Morty. And so 099, that's Snuffles. And Snuffles is a is a dog. And specifically he's in a robot exoskeleton. It's from the show, don't worry about it. But so I have a dog. I have to make sure that none of the other images I come up with are dogs. So for example, I have one that's Disney and I thought, hey, Pluto. But I was like, wait, Pluto is a dog and I have Snuffles already. That's not going to work. Because what could happen is, say if I put Snuffles at the kitchen and then I went to the next location and so on and just kept memorizing and I came back, I was like, hey, at the kitchen table, I saw a dog. Wait, oh, I have five dogs. Was it Snuffles? Was it Pluto? Who was it? And so that's the issue that could rise if I have multiple images that are kind of close together. So that's something I do have to make sure I avoid, having images that pretty much are the same thing. Even though when I really do think about it, Pluto, I can see him. He's totally different from Snuffles. But if I put him in a location and going quickly when I memorize, I might just get kind of like a dog feeling, like, oh, there's just a dog here. I don't know which dog, but it's just a dog. I know it's a dog. I can kind of feel that it's a dog. And so that's the problem that can happen. And so that's something that I truly, truly hate because I get all excited. I'm like, oh, I have an image for this. Wait, oh, I already have something like that. Can't work. And so it's kind of a work in progress, tedious. I think if I had the other images I have set aside, I would have it almost done. I probably have like 300 images, give or take, right now that you can see. Probably a little bit less, but I think if I had my other images on here, it would be probably 800 or so. So it is a work in progress. I might not finish by tonight, depending on how long I work on it for the rest of the night. So I might extend the time I have to a day or two because it really is tedious. I do want to make sure I make it correctly. I don't just want to rush through it. Like, hey, I have all these images done, but now when I actually start practicing, I'm like, wait. This image is very similar to this other image. Great, I have to change it. Because you're doing 1,000 images, so if you do people, it it kind of it's easier to separate people and objects, right? Like a lamp, as opposed to like Big Bird. But if you have like too many people, you might not be able to tell the difference between them. You're like, wait, I know I saw a person here, but which person did I see? Um, so that's something I do have to like work around. Depending on the person, like if it's like Reese, Malcolm, Lewis, I know who they are. Darth Vader, um, I know who that is. And so I really want to make people that do stand out. Same thing with the objects. I do want to make the objects stand out by themselves. So like here's a cart, like actual cart. Uh, Here, Dino is a dinosaur. Shanron is a dragon. And so there's like just different things like that. For me, I can see them clearly, totally different. But if I get like another dinosaur, I might not be able to do that. And so it's just like a lot of work. And I don't want to rush it because I don't want to have overlapping images and just have more work for myself going back and fixing them. And so I'll keep you updated on the process. As you can tell, it does not look fun. It's pretty frustrating because you get excited when you come up with the image, but then you're like, oh, it doesn't work, or oh, it could work for like 5 different categories. And so I might mess with the categories to try to fix that problem. Um, and yeah, so I'll just keep you updated, and and hopefully next time I update you, it's finished. If not, almost finished. And so until then, I'll see you next time.